Hi, girlies. Welcome to another episode of Some Cha with your big sis. Today, I want to talk about jealousy. This is a very heavy topic for me because I truly did struggle with jealousy. I do want to talk about it from the lens of being in your 30s and being single. And it doesn't have to be in your 30s, like any age. But I want to talk about it from the lens of being in a state where everyone around you is getting married and you're not getting married, and you can feel it inside of you, this negativity and this jealousy. And I want to talk about this because not only did I struggle with it, but I also felt ashamed. I felt so bad. I felt like I was a really bad person. You're supposed to wish well on others, you're supposed to be happy for others. And while I definitely felt jealous. And to give you some context, I'm the kind of person growing up, I achieved my goals. If I had a goal, whether it was in school, whether it was sports, I was very athletic. I still am, alhamdulillah. Whether it was really anything, I had goals and I would, alhamdulillah, accomplish them, Give me homework, give me exams. I will study until I've mastered the topic and then I do well in the exam. Give me a sport, I will learn how to play it. I will practice until it's all muscle memory and I will try to win, right? Um, and of course, if I don't, it's not a big deal. But there was joy in it because I knew I was good at mastering things and I was good at being good at things. So when it came to this, and I truly believe this was a test from Allah, as with everything, but when it came to looking for a spouse, I really had to face the fact that this is something that's actually not in my hands. But that's a separate topic. I want to go back to that feeling of jealousy that I did feel. When you are someone who is used to accomplishing goals, it is very difficult to watch yourself not get something when you're really trying very hard and yet people around you are getting it. I want to say number one is that the feeling of jealousy is very valid. While it is a very negative feeling, it is so valid. And I don't want anyone to feel ashamed or guilty about it. I want you to know that if you feel this, it is valid because it is manufactured. It is not a reflection of who you are. As human beings, naturally, if let's say there are 10 people and all the people want something and everyone gets it except for one person, it is so natural that person's going to feel bad. And when it comes to the topic of marriage, if everyone around you is getting married and you're not getting married, obviously it's not going to feel good. On top of that, all the milestones that come with getting married, you have to now watch it, right? You are watching it. And, now with social media, it's become even easier to see this stuff. So you are not only watching them achieve the goal that you want, but then all the milestones that come after buying a home, having children, this and that, you have to watch that play out while you're still trying to meet that initial goal. Then, on top of that, it's even a worse feeling when you see that people who have achieved that goal barely even tried. They barely even tried. There's a lot of people who, alhamdulillah, it wasn't a test for them. Getting married was very easy, right? There are a lot of people I'm sure that you can think of who got married very easily. It was not a struggle. But of course, and Allah said, everyone has different tests. But when it's layered on top of that, knowing that there are people who are getting what you want and they barely tried for it, it is very difficult. And it is very natural. It is very natural to feel that jealousy. It is very natural. It is not a reflection of who you are. Do not let it be a reflection of who you are. Now, I don't want to leave any episode without solutions, right? I want this space to be a space where we talk about real topics and we think of solutions. It's not just rants. And especially when it comes to jealousy, we do have to admit that it is not a that it is a very negative emotion, and as we know, it can cause bad outcomes, not only to others but even to ourselves. And so while it is a very valid feeling, we do need to find ways to get rid of it. So, here are some things that I would recommend. Actually, there are mainly two things. There are mainly two things that I would recommend to cure this disease of the heart. Okay? Because jealousy, that's what it is. It is a disease of your heart. So, with any disease of the heart, the best cure, it is not the only cure. It should not be used by itself, but it is a big component, and that is cleaning your heart out with the remembrance of Allah. As you may already know, I am someone who is very close to Deen, and a lot of my suggestions are going to revolve around this. But Al Jabbar, one of the 99 names of Allah, Al Jabbar, the restorer, he created our hearts, he can restore it, right? Al Khalik, the creator. You know, if he's the creator, he can restore it. So ask Allah, do your dhikr, do your istighfar, try to do your prayers on time, and get those 5 prayers done. Wake up for tahajjud, all of it, okay? But really, really try to make the intention of remembering Allah, okay? So go beyond just the prayers. Like, do your dhikr, go out for a walk and do your istighfar, all right? With time, your heart will heal. Now, I did say that this is not the only cure, right? It should not be on its own. You need to accompany it with physical solutions. And what I mean by that, and this brings me to the second suggestion, which is to fill your life with things that you like, fill it with other goals, and busy yourself. Okay. We do not live, we weren't just given a soul, we've been given physical factors, right? We've been given a body, we've been given time, we've been given space. We need to do things with this stuff. So fill your day, schedule your days out with activities, right? Schedule the week out. So, if you're in school, if you're working, after you're done school or work, put in activities, pencil them in, meet up with a friend, uh, go read a book or go work out, right? 3 days from now, make it a commitment that you're going to learn a new recipe. Truly be intentional with the activities that you fill your schedule in, but do it, right? Fill your schedule in. Even if it feels a bit forced, you need to do it because we we are not just composed of a soul, right? It's not just heart. We have a brain, we have a body, and we need to keep it busy. So it's both together, right? Remember Allah and keep yourself busy and be patient as you go through this and remind yourself that this is a season. Remind yourself that it is a season. Believe that this single phase of your life is just a season. I hope this helps, and I pray you have a great day ahead of you. Until next time.